did I ever tell you about the time that I spent like, you know, almost $4,000 on online sidekicks? And she was like,
I said, no, you didn't, Christina. I said, no, you sure haven't. I think I would have remembered that. So,
welcome to Gin and Toxic. I'm Christina.
And I'm Lily.
And we're here to get fucked up and talk about the most toxic shit we've ever done.
Period.
Yes, this is our first episode ever. So we haven't recorded in a very... Well, first of all, I haven't recorded a podcast in a long time. If you guys know... if you know, you know. I used to have the Really Bitchy podcast, and then I said, fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit. She's dead. Oh, I'm sorry.
R.I.P.
The old bitchy can't come to the phone right now.
Period.
She's dead. But, yeah, no, so we decided to do the rebound, whatever. Blah, I'm not going to go into it because we're going to go into it in the pilot episode, which will be out before this even comes out. Anyways, though, me and Lily reporting live from my bed.
It's pretty comfy in here.
It's
I'm not going to lie.
comfy cozy in here. Yeah. We're just chilling, good vibes. We made some cocktails. We have...
Several.
Yes, several. Before recording, we went to this random like bar near my apartment that I've never been to before, but my roommate recommended, and we had these like strawberry drinks. They were very tart, but very strong.
Paige.
Shout out Paige. Mm-hmm. Always coming through with the good restaurant recommendations.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we had some cocktails, and now we're drinking you know, I had no other tequila but 1942.
No, yeah,
so,
casual. Just like, sorry, I only have 1942.
Wait, no, that's not even the 1942. I was going to give you the 1942, and then I was like, wait, I have the Clase Azul.
Oh, yeah, the other most expensive tequila in the whole world.
Like, let me use that instead.
Those are my two options, so.
Yeah. You know what? That's how we do it here.
Period.
Exactly. Anyways, let's get into the show. All right. So, all right, Lily, what's the most toxic thing you've done this week? Come on, spill it.
You know, when we decided to make this the intro question, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have something every week, which I don't know why the hell I would say that, because I most certainly will. Mm-hmm. And this week, my boyfriend decided to go on a little bender, a little fun little bender on Thursday. Not a fender bender, nope, the more fun kind.
Yes.
And that lasted until Friday night, actually. So we're talking like a 24-hour bender. And during that bender, he went MIA.
Classic Sammy.
As you do, yes.
Classic.
Love you, Sammy. Shout out. I'm so glad you had fun. Safe, good little fun. But my absolutely psychotic ass decided to blow up his best friend's phone because I was going crazy.
Shout out Patty O'Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Patty. I love you so much.
Patty, we love you.
I have since apologized, and everything is fine. But I was a little stressed, so I decided the best course of action would be to blow up Patty's phone. So I was like, yo, where the fuck are you guys? All of the above. And yeah, it just it didn't end well.
Yeah. No.
And that was I don't recommend blowing up your boyfriend's best friend's phone.
You know what? Understandably so. Mm-hmm. You guys will probably learn more about the boyfriends and, you know.
Oh, you will.
Oh, you will.
They drive us nuts.
In more episodes to come, but Sammy is a interesting man, to say the least.
Lawyer by day.
Yeah, like.
Bender by night.
Bender by night. Like, this man can have, like, fucking 20 tequila sodas and not feel a thing. Or no, he'll feel it.
He'll feel it.
He'll feel it. He'll just keep going.
Yeah. It's impressive, really. He's Irish, so it's fair enough. Yeah. Like from Ireland. Like, not actually just American Irish. Like, from Ireland. So, you know.
God, Sammy.
Yeah, so just my piece of advice for this week is to not blow up your boyfriend's best friend's phone.
No.
Unless they're missing for over 24 hours.
That's the thing. You have all the right to do that because he was just MIA for 24 hours. You think your boyfriend's dead. Like, I would do the same thing. I'm like, I don't care.
At hour 23, it's questionable, but hour 24, you better blow up Patty's phone immediately.
You guys, you all know your boyfriend has a Patty. with every Sammy there's a Patty.
Yeah.
So
they're like that bromance best friend where it's like,
exactly.
Are you guys dating or are we friends?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not exactly sure about that.
Am I the girlfriend, the third wheel?
Right. Would I be the third wheel? Is Pat, like, it's very questionable. There's really, like, there's a gray area there for sure.
Totally.
But Christina, she might have me beat this week, though. I mean, I know mine sounded like super fun and like yay laugh, but like Christina might have me beat.
Okay.
It gets dark.
Okay.
It gets dark for sure.
It's definitely a little dark. Okay, so what's
Ew,
so funny?
the cackles into the microphone.
Know. You know what? I'm so used to like, what's the best word of putting this? The best way of putting this. I'm very used to censoring myself on the internet, which is funny because I created my last podcast to just be like crazy and talk about shit. But now this is like the real deal.
Yeah.
This is where we actually talk about the stupid shit and I'm like, I don't fucking care.
No,
cancel
talk
me.
about uncensored. Yeah.
Let's talk about uncensored. Okay. So most toxic thing I've done this week. This is about to sound horrible, but
no, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's not great.
It's not my best.
Don't come
moment.
for her, okay?
But I will explain. Okay, so here's the thing. This past weekend, I decided to take my boyfriend with me to my hometown of Long Island to stay with me and my parents and like show him, where I grew up, my old high school. We went through my entire high school yearbook and I was like, this one bullied me. This one was a prick. This is the popular girl at the school. This is the one that's sucking dick under the bleachers.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is the one,
Right.
So, anyways, though, very wholesome, clearly.
Very like a Taylor Swift song, really.
Right. Yeah, exactly. A Taylor Swift song. But so everything was going well, and then on Saturday, like kind of afternoonish, he ends up getting a phone call, and unfortunately, one of his family members passed away. One of his grandparents passed away. Very sad. He was very upset, obviously trying to comfort him and everything. And he decided to leave Long Island early to go back to the city to meet up with his cousin to like help comfort her and everything before she was flying out to like see the rest of their family, whatever. So yeah, very sad, not the best, obviously condolences with them and his family. I already texted his mom and, trying to comfort him and everything. Luckily he feels way better, grandparent is in a better place now. But so how this all ties in.
The Taylor Swift song weekend got cut short.
Yeah, Taylor Swift, my all too well weekend got cut short. Dance around the kitchen in the refrigerator light.
Who do you think put her onto that? Shout out Hannah and me,
and Lily.
period.
We're in Rochester driving in the car, and I was like, you know what? That song kind of slapped.
Yeah, that song, it kind of slaps. It does.
Kind of slaps. Anyways.
Taylor's version, dough.
Oh, yes. We only listen to Taylor's version in this house. Mm-hmm. She didn't come out with her own version, though.
No, November 13th. Continue the story.
Okay. Important
Christ.
details here. Anyways, so he ends up leaving Long Island early, didn't get to spend the entire weekend together, okay?
Tragic.
It's okay. Now, today we're texting. I'm going with him to his hometown this week, actually, at the end of this week. We're going back to his hometown. He's from Boston, so we're going there. He's from a million places, though. He like moved around a lot as a child.
Such a long story.
Yeah, such a long story. But we're just going to say he's from Boston. That's where he spent the majority of his life growing up, middle school, high school. So I'm going back with him this weekend, and everything's good. And he texts me, and he's like, hey, one of his friends wanted to come to Boston to like visit him and see him. And he's just telling me this today. Okay, so it is currently Monday when we are recording this.
October
4th. I'm leaving on Thursday. Today I get a text from him asking, if it's okay that his friend comes and stays with us while we're in his hometown. And, obviously I'm like, yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm like, okay, sure, but like, how long is Mr. Dude staying for? And he basically tells me that he's going to be staying like half of the time that I'm there. And so here's the thing. He had to leave Long Island early, understandably so, because of the circumstances. It's okay. Saw him for like maybe less than 12 hours last night before he had to leave this morning to go to Boston.
Right. Like, fair enough.
Yeah.
There was a death. There was a death.
Exactly. There was a death.
R.I.P.
Here's the thing, though. This man's is going to be in Boston for almost the entire month of October, meaning that this one weekend that I'm in October is the... I meant that I'm in October. This one weekend that I'm in Boston is the only weekend that I'm going to be seeing him, basically for like almost the whole month. So I was expecting to have a very wholesome weekend, just coupley things, me and him alone time. And then he tells me that his friend's coming. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then he tells me that his friend's going to be there for half of the time that I'm there. And I'm like, so here's where the toxic thing comes into play. Our weekend last weekend, because of the death of the family, got cut short. And now this next weekend's coming up, and it's basically getting cut short again. So obviously, I was a little, like, upset. Not upset at the fact that he left Long Island, obviously, because of the death of the family, but upset because now the second weekend comes around and it's getting cut short again by something that can be controlled.
This time it can be controlled.
Exactly.
My girl's getting cut short out here.
Yeah.
She has some needs,
dick.
you know.
I want some Colombian dick.
Shit, we both went right to it. I'm like, my girl's got needs. She's like, I need dick.
Exactly. What am I supposed to do out here?
I love you, Mom and Dad, so very much.
Mommy, Daddy. Mommy?
For
Sorry, Mommy?
Sake. Oh, no,
Have you seen that remake of the TikTok audio? I just found it the other day. It's like, my little slut. Sorry. My little slut. Sorry. My little slut. Sorry.
That's absolutely perfect for us.
Right.
We really root each other on. It's all right. It's not great.
Anyways, continuing.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. So you know what, we had a conversation though that was very respectful. I told him, like, you know, like, I would love to see your friend. I keep in mind, love this man.
Love you.
Love him. Hello. If you're listening, you know who you are. I love you so much. But yeah, I was talking to him and I was like, you know what? Like, if I'm not really going to see you for like the rest of the month and our last weekend got cut short, then like I would like to, you know, have that alone time, that one-on-one time for a little bit longer. And so I was like, half of me felt bad, obviously, because last week was like not controlled. This week's controlled. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like, is it really that toxic? I mean, it's a little toxic. But like, am I wrong? Like,
it's toxic because like grandpa died, but like also like my girl's got needs.
We should not be laughing over this.
No,
we're going to hell.
No, but like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
it's just like not even. Here's the thing: take sex out of the equation. Obviously, this is just wanting to spend.
It's in the equation.
It's in the equation, definitely. But this is like you put so many factors together. Last weekend got cut short. Saw him for 12 hours last night. Now not about to see him for the rest of the month of October, and it's October 4th. Like, I don't think I'm wrong from wanting to spend a full weekend with just me and my boo thing.
Yeah. I mean, even if this was like me and you and I wasn't seeing you for an entire month, we'd want to like hang out and spend time together for the weekend. But it's your boyfriend, like, duh.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, he obviously wants to spend time with me. You know what it was? Is he just got like very excited because like, oh my God, girlfriend and best friend in town at the same time. And it's like, yes, that's so exciting. And like, you know, hype to hang out with him and, you know, the boyfriend and the boyfriend's best friend, like, they're great, love to hang out with them. But, you know, I mean, I went over this 100 times. Given the circumstances, like, you know, I want my alone time. I don't know. Is it toxic? Maybe a little bit.
You decide.
You guys decide. And please, tweet us,
a thumbs
text
up.
Us. Tweet us, text us. Yeah, give us a. Can you do that on a podcast?
I don't think so.
Give us
Clearly,
a thumbs up.
I have
give
no
us a
experience.
download.
Yeah.
Give us a download. You don't have to download it, but you could.
You absolutely fucking could.
You know what Martine says to me yesterday? He goes, I forget what we were even talking about.
You're
but
name
he goes,
dropping the boyfriend. Okay.
Teeny. It's okay. Everybody knows
Everyone
by now.
knows.
Everyone knows. He goes, I forget what we were talking about, but he goes, it's not a threat, but it's a suggestion.
Oh!
I go,
shit.
I go, that's almost as bad as, I don't know if you ever saw that TikTok of that girl, and she's like, whenever you're mad at a guy, don't say, instead of saying you're mad, say, I'm not mad, I'm just less interested.
I thought you were going to say disappointed, less interested.
Oh, disappointed is a good one too, but
no, I like
mad,
less interested though.
I'm just less interested.
Oh shit.
Like,
oh.
Right. It's giving me that same energy. So he goes, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a threat, but it's a suggestion.
Period.
And I was like, I don't even know what we were talking about. But I remember just bursting out laughing after that. Because I was like, this is giving me, I'm not mad, I'm just less interested vibes.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I know.
Wow. I love when men have clever ideas. It's very unique.
Yeah.
It's a new concept.
Very unique to them.
Yeah.
I know. You guys should also know that we're going to a JoJo concert tonight.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Leave,
not
get out right now.
Exactly. Not JoJo Siwa, though we love my girl.
God.
We love we love our girl. But
I'm talking too little too late.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly. Get out right now.
Leave.
It's the end of you and me.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. I'm out. My friend Jen, shout out Skinny Legend Jen Dharmafal.
Skinny Legend.
Miss Jen Dharmafal, we love her, and she was like, listen, I have 2 tickets through, brother Warner Brothers, to go to this concert in Williamsburg for JoJo tonight. Like, do you guys want to go? And we were like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's really nothing I love more than
Yeah.
an early 2000s moment.
Exactly.
And
There's
JoJo is
nothing I
the
would rather
epitome
do.
of that. Like, she is everything. I also have a huge crush on her. I don't know if you guys have peeped her Instagram recently.
Really?
Titties do be out. Oh, she is the moment.
She's
she
the
is.
moment. Oh my god, that's like those photos of what's her face? Dakota Johnson.
Dakota, mommy.
Oh my god, my freaking boyfriend did not understand. He looks at my close friend story. I posted a photo of her and I was like, she is the moment. And he was like, what is going on here? Like, I don't get it. I was like, you don't get it.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, just look up Dakota Johnson like on Twitter or Google or something, and you're gonna be like, oh,
she is wearing this little like
corset,
top with
she's
leather
giving like
pants.
Casey Musgrave. She's giving me like Girl Next Door, but like way more expensive than you are. Like just better than everyone, really.
Girl Next Door, but like she runs the Boss Lady Instagram account.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that brand called? Boss Babe.
Boss Babe.
She be running Boss Babe Inc.
Yeah, no, she is Boss Babe Inc.
Exactly.
Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the most desperate things we've ever done. And I'm going to go ahead and ask Christina what the most desperate thing she's ever done is, because it's pretty fucking fantastic. Everyone deserves to hear this story. It's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I told Lily this story fairly recent. I think we were like planning these out, and I was like, oh my god, did I ever tell you about the time that I spent like almost $4,000 on online sidekicks? And she was like,
I said no, you didn't, Christina. I said no, you sure haven't. I think I would have remembered that. So let's break it down.
All right, listen, this is one of the most desperate things I ever did. So about a year and a half ago, I got out of a 4-year relationship, okay? That shit was brutal. I went through a lot of shit in that relationship because it was just like, it was a very intense relationship with a lot of restrictions because my ex-boyfriend was a boy band member. Rule number 1 of the girl's handbook, never date a boy band member. Learned that the hard way.
Never really date anyone famous.
Never date anybody I love a low-key man.
No, I want no social media.
Man.
No social media, a low-key man.
Yep.
If you're broke, that's not cute, but like maybe like rich and silent.
Right,
That's
exactly.
good.
Rich and silent. That's how I like them. So went through this breakup with, ex-boyfriend, and this is the most intense breakup I've ever been through in my life, because before him, I dated in 2016, dated this dude for like 6 months, thought I was in love with him, you know how it goes. That did not work out, whatever, and I got over that relationship like right away. So I never went through like a real intense breakup. So broke up, whatever, going through a really bad breakup, and I started to get really, really spiritual, like, during this time. Like, I'm talking healing crystals,
not in a good way.
not in a healthy, controlled way. Like,
spiraling.
An absolute spiral indeed, spending hundreds of dollars on crystals and, journals for manifestations, every night in my journal. Oh my god, me and so will be together again. And I'm like, oh my god, thank god the universe didn't give that to me. So
the universe said, actually, no.
Universe said, we have a Colombian man with a big dick. Yeah. So we're just gonna like Really read that one out.
This is when I'm just like, okay, Christina. Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, spiraling. Absolute spiral. So I would start watching these like YouTube psychics, like, you know, the YouTube psychics, they do pick a card like videos, and you're watching them and you pick a card and, you know, it's 1 through 3, and then you skip forward and they're like, oh, pile 3, here's your reading. And, you know, they tell you like whatever, which those are great. Love them in a controlled manner when you're not watching 20 a night. Anyways, one of the YouTubers that I really liked, one of the sidekicks on YouTube, was promoting this website. Okay, this website is called Ornum. And I think it's a cool website if you use it in a controlled way.
Yeah, like one time.
Once, twice, yeah, like
That's
once
it.
a month. Yeah.
No, like once or twice.
Once or twice ever. But yeah, basically Ornum is like this collection of online psychics. It's almost like going, like, you guys remember, do you remember the website YouNow?
I sure do.
Oh yeah.
Of course
I
do.
used to stream on YouNow all the time, of course. But YouNow was the shit where like you could go on and you could live stream, except Ornum is psychics that live stream, and you like buy tokens, like you buy coins, and you use those coins and like you redeem them on these psychics. So like some psychics charge like 1 coin per 1 minute, and then some of them go up to charging like 10 coins per 1 minute. Like it depends on the psychic and what they're charging, whatever. Anyways, I decided I was going to give this a try because this YouTuber that I really liked was promoting it. And I was like, you know what? I need some guidance in my life, okay? So it started off very innocently, me going onto Ornum and just, you know,
buying tokens.
Buying some tokens. You know, it started off with like buying like $5 or $10 of tokens and spending them and getting readings and whatever. And then, you know, I wanted to stay, you know what, some of the psychics are very good at like keeping you in, so you just keep buying tokens. So here's the thing. Okay, let me make this clear.
This is a mess.
Yeah, this is a wreck. So Ornum makes it very easy that, like, say you're in a private room with a psychic and they're giving you a reading and you run out of time or you run out of tokens, it'll come up with a thing like, continue this chat, like it's gonna expire in a minute, continue it by purchasing more tokens. And because they already have your credit card information, you could just click buy now and it'll just keep charging your card every time you click buy now, so you could just keep going and going and going. So that's how we get to where we are. So anyways, I started using this website for like a month straight, basically. 2 months straight, going on, asking questions, talking to psychics about this and that, just messing with, you know, fate and the universe in general, which was bad. And all of a sudden, I did not realize how much I was charging at first to this website. And at the time, my dad had access to my credit card statements because he does my taxes for me. So he would like go on and, you know, like business stuff, go and look for write-offs and blah, whatever. And so then he's like, Christina, like, what are all of these international charges? Like one charge for $20, one charge for $100, one charge for $50, like here and there, whatever. He's like, what the fuck is this? And originally I like refused to tell him because I knew I spent so much money on it. But I didn't realize how much I spent, but I knew it was a good amount. And I was like, oh my God, it's nothing, blah, blah, blah. He's like, Christina, like, what is this? Like, you need to shut your credit card down. These are like international charges. Did your account get hacked? I was like, no. And then eventually I caved and I was like, oh my God, I went through this really bad period. I was like purchasing all these online psychic readings, like so bad because I was in just such distress from my last relationship that I was just looking for answers.
We needed answers.
Right.
We needed them.
answers. So then he's just like, are you aware that like you spent basically $4,000 on these online psychics?
No,
Yeah.
surely not.
Surely not.
Surely not $4,000.
Yeah,
on
so-
an online psychic.
Right. So he's like,
Tokens.
right, tokens.
The word token just sent me.
Fucking $4,000 on buying tokens to speak to online psychics.
Like, who
He's
has
like,
$4,000?
to spend on psychics.
Christina. Like, Christina.
Clearly I do. But I didn't even realize. I thought, like, okay, maybe $1,000, which is still crazy.
It's like 3 Prada bags.
Yeah, right. But, like,
that's how my brain does math.
Like, right.
I'm like, wait, that's like 2 Gucci bags and 3 Pradas. How could you?
I know, right. But yeah, no, so I was just like, holy shit, did not realize how much I spent. And my dad was like, what the fuck? And, like, we ended up, you know, obviously he's like, you need to, like, stop.
So you should stop.
Right. Talk to my life coach about it. She was like, okay, well, what the fuck?
Your life coach is like, I have 107 years of experience and I haven't quite come across this yet.
When I first started working my life coach, she was like, what the fuck? Because I'm like, hi, I'm a social media influencer. I just got off a 4-year relationship with a boy band member where I literally couldn't talk about my relationship publicly. By the way, I just spent $4,000 on online psychics. Can you help me?
She didn't really make influencers look good.
Right. Definitely didn't. But she did, and she's great. But anyways,
she fixed her.
She did. She really did help me get to where
okay
I am.
now, guys.
We love her. Shout out Andrea. But anyways, yeah. So I spent $4,000 in online psychics, and I ended up finally removing my credit card from the website. Stopped going to it. Shut my account down. And then I was actually telling Lily this a while ago that I have not like been on the website in like months. Haven't gotten an email or anything. All of a sudden, like a month ago, started getting like newsletter emails. Yeah. And I was like, what? For you. Yeah. I was like, somebody is listening to me. Somebody knows I'm doing this episode soon where I'm talking about these online psychics.
No, I told Christina, I was like, we have to tell this story like immediately. It's so good. It's just so good.
It's like the best story, but of my worst
so
moment.
Sad. No, it's so sad. Like when she told me, I was like, I'm so sad for you, Queen, but like right. We have to tell it.
But we gotta talk about it on the podcast. Absolutely. But yeah, so I don't know. And like did it
bring you clarity? Like, did it do anything?
You know what? Sometimes it did and sometimes it didn't. Some of them were like, no, this is horrible. There's like stuff underneath the surface that you don't know about. And then some of them were like, you know what? It really depends. Very hit or miss with those. Yeah. You know, with them. Sorry, my throat. Very hit or miss. It was either like so great and they like knew what to say and they like were giving me actual advice, whatever, or is the total opposite and it was just like kind of like bluff. Yeah. So you really got to pick and choose with those sorts of things, especially if you are getting a professional psychic reading. Now I do have a professional psychic, one that I absolutely trust, that I see.
She's legit though.
Yeah, she's very legit. Yeah. And I see her once every like, I don't know, like once every like 6 months.
Yeah, like twice a year.
Yeah, exactly. Like twice a year. It'd just be like, hey, like let's talk about what's going on in life. What could you tell me? Whatever. Because I'm still very into spirituality.
Oh yeah, I believe in
crystals. Yeah, absolutely believe in
it.
I
just think the online ones, like
spending that much money on online psychics. Yeah, no.
A psychic or medium can change your life. It has for Christina and it has for me, but just this particular instinct.
Yeah, no, this was not my best moments, but I was just so desperate. Like I was just looking for answers. Sad time. Yeah, I was going dark. I mean, a 4-year relationship, that shit is not easy.
Well, and you guys broke up like right when COVID started. Yeah, and she was at her parents'
pandemic.
House.
Yes, exactly. I was at my parents' house. Like I had nothing better to do. I was like sitting around all day. I was desperate. I was sad. Like it just like sucked. But
like if this happened in New York when me and you were friends, you guys, I don't think
this would have happened.
Well, it wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
Been like, after like $800 in, I would have been like, Christina, I'm taking your computer.
Yeah.
Like we're getting drunk and we're fixing this shit. Like, no, this is not happening.
You know what I heard from so many people when I was going through the breakup? They're like, at least you get to actually process everything that you're feeling, but you can't just like go out and party and like drown it in alcohol. I'm like,
no, that's the healthy way.
That's what I would have wanted to do.
That sounds great to me.
I got a life coach. I'm not worried about that stuff. Oh my God, it was bad. Well, what's the most desperate thing that you feel you've done?
So I feel like my stories, like when we were coming up with this episode, I was blanking and I didn't feel like anything could compare to the $4,000 spent. I mean, it's a good one.
Yeah,
Gina.
It's a really rough
and
one.
honestly, I'm going to give a spoiler alert. She has a follow-up to that one that's also really good.
I do?
Look at the notes.
Oh!
Yeah, no, she does.
Stay tuned.
And they're both of them are better than mine. And honestly, I also have.
Well, like I said, we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if it's necessarily a thing of being better or worse. I think yours is a little more relatable.
Yeah, it's a little more realistic and like something a teenage girl would do.
Right.
And also, I also have a life coach, and I was talking to her about this.
Coaches.
Yeah, and she was like, Lily, do you ever think like maybe you've blocked out some memories of your exes that are maybe like stopping you from coming up with one of these like really juicy stories? And I was like, oh, abso-fucking-lutely, because you know, I've been with my boyfriend now for like, we're going on 3 years, and I've blocked out a lot of memories. But one that kind of comes to mind that I feel like could be relatable for a lot of girls, I've seen this on like TikTok and stuff. When I first moved to New York, so this was like right at the beginning of 2018, January. I was going through some weird stuff with my boyfriend at the time, who I won't talk about too much on this podcast, but I did have a boyfriend before the one I have.
Fuck that man.
Yeah, fuck that man. It was like a textbook teenage toxic relationship. It's not even like funny to talk about because it's so stupid, and like we were teenagers.
But I mean, I feel like you have to have one of those relationships in your life. I think that's what, not my ex-boyfriend, but my ex, the one that I dated for like 6 months. I think he's the definition of the toxic ex-boyfriend, but also I think he was like, you know, what's so funny looking back at it, I think he was more like a summer romance because everything was so great, and then it went so toxic when school started. That's a conversation for another day, but go on. Yeah.
No, everyone has to have one. Mine unfortunately lasted 2 years, but like I was 16 when we kind of started dating, and then 18, 19, just turned 19 when we broke up. And it feels like a lifetime ago, but I do remember one instance where I had just moved to New York. And first of all, like, I come from a really small town in upstate New York. And when I was moving to New York City, it's 6 hours away. So it feels like really far away from my hometown, even though it's in the same state. He was so nasty about it, which is already like a huge red flag. Yeah. Like, if your partner has this huge opportunity and wants to move, like, that's like amazing.
You should be excited for that.
Yeah. And like maybe like, you know, find a way to like meet them halfway or go with them or something. I don't know. But especially when you're that young, like he had fuck all going on in our hometown. Like he didn't even go to school or anything. So I don't know, whatever. So I moved to New York, and that was already really hard for him, and he was not supportive at all. And I just had a really bad gut feeling because he was so toxic and controlling, and usually those are the boyfriends that cheat because they're like such hypocrites.
You know what it is? I feel like your gut and like your instinct never lies. Yeah. Like that's one thing I realized. You know what's so funny? I don't know if I told you this. I actually mentioned this just the other day to somebody, that when I was on my flight to LA to when me and my ex-boyfriend, obviously when we broke up, that time that like I was going to LA to visit him, for some reason, my gut instinct told me, getting on that flight to go to LA to see him, that this was going to be the last time I was going to LA to see him.
Like, that's crazy.
Crazy.
And she had no idea. Like, that's not why she was going to LA, to, like, have a fight or something.
Right. But I just had a weird feeling that I was like, I think this is going to end. I don't know why, but I just, like, think it. Like, your gut, just, like, I feel like your gut and your natural instinct just, like, does not lie to you.
Like, no matter, like, with my current boyfriend, and I'm sure yours too, no matter how bad things are, like obviously you get into bad fights and stuff, no matter how bad it gets, I never have like this feeling that like this is it or like this is the end. It's always like, oh, we're gonna get through this. But with this boyfriend, it was always like, oh yeah, we're like, doomed.
When you know, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had just moved to New York. It was like either early February, end of January. I moved in to a dorm with 3 other girls. It was 4 of us. I didn't know any of them, which was just, that was tough on its own. But I moved in with them, and I was the only girl with a boyfriend, and I remember telling them about him, and they were like, oh, sis, that doesn't sound great. And I was like, no, it's fine. He loves me.
Oh,
like,
my God,
he's gonna move to New York. Response. Yeah, I was like, he's going to move to New York this summer. It's all going to be fine, whatever. And one of them was like, you know, this is going to sound crazy, but I have this like fake Instagram account that I used on my ex-boyfriend to figure out if he would like cheat on me. And I was like, oh my God, girl, that's next level toxic. Like, that's crazy.
Get me in on it.
Get me in on that. No, like, and I literally like, I said that to her and I was so serious. And then I think actually 1 minute later I was like, oh yeah, so could we like pull that up and like,
can we, like, figure this out?
So what's the deal with that? And like, it was so legit. She had like a few hundred followers on it. Don't ask me how. I have no idea. So it looked like real. And it was like this really beautiful like Asian model that she posed as. It was brilliant. And you know, coincidentally, my ex, he had an Asian fetish, which I know everyone has emotions about that.
Wait,
it's very
think you
weird.
told me about this.
Yeah, so it was meant to be. I mean, I'm sorry, it was meant to be.
Oh my god, that's so...
I don't know who this Asian girl was that she got pictures of, but like whoever you are, you're a queen. You're gorgeous.
You helped us.
Yeah, you really helped me out
really
here.
Helped her.
So like obviously that night she messages him and just like really casually slid into his DMs. He was an artist, so she was like, "Oh my god, I love your art. Like your graphic design is amazing, whatever." And immediately he played into it and was just like, "Oh my god, like you think I'm great? I think you're fucking gorgeous." Like all this. I honestly, it was years ago. I couldn't tell you exactly what he said, but you know,
just flirt.
Yeah, so he like cheated on me essentially, because to me that's cheating. Like if you're gonna,
my god. Yeah, flirting is absolutely cheating.
Yeah,
100,000%.
Like if my current boyfriend did that, New York City would be on fire. Like I would go fucking crazy. Yeah. So like that was pretty much that. But my dumbass, you know, at the time I was like, okay, so I see that he's doing this. How do I now tell him?
This is me.
This is me. Like
this
that was the part that got a little complicated. So I think I came up with like this elaborate lie that was like, oh, I was telling my roommate that I had some concerns about our relationship, and without telling me, she just like messaged you. She's a real person though. Like I never ended up telling him.
Isn't that crazy how like back then, like you think about it, I feel like if that were to happen now, I'd be like, yeah, I created that fake account.
Yeah.
Fucking gross ass.
Right, like disgusting.
Like, it's
absolutely.
like when you're in a situation like that, like you just
when you're
try
18
your hardest.
years old.
Yeah, you're 18, you just try to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
And
I was scared of him, to be honest. He was a little scary, especially when he got mad at me, which is like, that's not okay.
Not okay.
Not like physically, but like he was a little scary, like verbally and whatever. So I was really scared to tell him that. And yeah, so I think I just came up with this like elaborate lie that she did it without me having any consent, which like, come on. And also you have to remember I was 18. He was 4 years older than me. He was 22, which I'm 22 now.
Wait, I didn't know this.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And he literally acted like he was younger than me, which is, and he was like a loser. Like he did nothing. Isn't it like
proven that like guys don't actually mature until like the age of 30 or something?
Probably.
There's like some sort of statistic that like they don't actually mature in their minds until they're like 31 or something.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure of it.
Wait,
I know
there's
fuck?
I
know
did not
women
know
mature faster, but
yeah, I did not know he was older than you.
Yeah, which is kind of gross. Like when I look back on it, like I started dating him when I was a senior in high school. And now that I'm 22 and I think about dating a senior, like that makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
Yeah, somebody like, well graduated out of fucking high school dating a high schooler.
Like I'm graduated
that's
from college
so weird.
Now.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
If it's like a year or something like that, obviously it's like different if like you started dating in high school and one was like a year older, or even if it's like 1 year older.
And once you're in your 20s, age doesn't matter
really.
But when you're a teenager,
especially like like fresh meat, like fucking 18 years fresh. Like,
and like my current boyfriend is even older than me than he was. Like there's a bigger age gap.
But you're in your 20s.
But I'm in my 20s.
Yeah, that's so different.
Yeah, we're kind of at like similar places in life and whatnot. But yeah, so the whole thing was so bizarre. I caught him cheating. Like essentially he was like really flirty with this fake Asian girl. And for some reason, like that happened in January. We didn't end up breaking up till August of that year. And like what happened in between
wait, January?
This happened in January, maybe early February of 2018. And we didn't break up till...
Wait, there's so much to the story that you have not told me that I'm just now finding out.
Yeah.
You stood with him for like
I stayed with him.
Even 8 months.
And like that's so crazy to me because cheating has always been like, even when I was with him, I would say like cheating is the thing where like there's just no pass for that. Like that's just never.
Wait, so you guys just stood to... Did you guys like break up for a little bit or go on a break, or were you just like, oh, like I found out that you were cheating on me, but it's okay, we're gonna stay together?
Yeah, well, he like,
I mean, you were 18.
I wish I like had our messages somewhere or something, because I would love to see like just for my own personal like growth
like how
purposes,
you used
like
to
how I
be.
handled that.
Yeah.
But I think he was so manipulating. Like he probably convinced
so
me that
bad.
like he was on to me and like knew it was me, or that like he was just being friendly to her in hopes that she would like ask him for, like, he was a graphic designer and he did art for like all these people on Instagram, and he was probably like, oh, I was just hoping that she would like offer,
buy my
you know,
art or
get
something.
me to do some art for her. So I don't know, like, who knows? He manipulated me to think something. Yeah. He was just so horrible. And then so months went by. And then August 1st of 2018, we moved into an apartment together. And then by August 20th is actually my birthday. On August 20th, my birthday, I kicked him out of the apartment because I
cannot believe you guys moved
we'll get into that into another episode, but it was bad.
That you like actually you moved to the city with a fucking
I can't believe that anyone.
That's just nuts.
I would never blame, like, obviously that was my decision. I would never blame anyone for it, but I can't believe that like my peers, my family, let you make that decision. At 18 years old, let me move in with this man. I have no, it's crazy. Yeah. It's beyond me. But yeah, it was fucked up. But yeah, so that's probably the most desperate thing I've ever done. And to be honest, like, I would never ever do something like that now with my current boyfriend. Because I would just know that he would never play into that. But also, like, I'm not 12 years old anymore.
Yeah, also, it's like you're old enough to pick up on the red flags. Like, if your boyfriend was throwing you red flags, you'd be
I knew he was going to answer her. I knew 100% that he was going to feed into it.
All the red flags were right there. Yeah. Like, you know? And it's like, now that we're older, obviously we can handle these things better if things like this come up. But also, you're older now and you're smart enough not to choose a guy like that.
Exactly. You know? That one I feel like isn't like quite as funny as Christina's, but more so like relatable. Yeah. And I feel like if you're a teenage girl, like, or even in your early 20s going through something like that, and you feel the need to make a fake Instagram account or have a friend do it to message your boyfriend, just break up with him. Yeah, like that's your seriously. Like, I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna last. Like, there's absolutely no way. So don't even make the fake Instagram account. Just break up with him. Like, seriously, it'll save you so much time. But the next one is a personal favorite of mine. It involves manifestation. So a little bit more of this
backtracking just a little bit.
Vibes. This is a good laugh.
Backtracking back to manifesting and stuff. But let me tell you guys a little story about manifesting a man. Listen, I during my manifesting kick, so I, put it to rest with the psychic.
Well, give us a timeline. When was this compared to when the psychic? Because it's kind of close together.
Okay, so
which is terrifying.
Yes, so me and my ex broke up we broke up end of March of 2020. I started with my life coach end of April of 2020. I would say the psychic stuff was like, it was between like May and June, because this was all going on while I was still staring at, oh my gosh, wait. Sorry, guys.
Oh, points were made.
Points were made. Had to get that out there.
Yeah. Anyways, you heard her.
You heard the woman. So the psychic thing went on between like May and June, maybe like a little bit into April, and then May, June, mostly May and June, where like the majority of the money was spent and where all this stuff was going on, because I was still at my parents' place. When I came back to the city mid-June, I was still doing the psychic things online, but like not a crazy amount anymore. I was already like kind of phasing out of it. When I realized I spent the $4,000, it was like end of June, beginning of July, and I was like, oh fuck. But now, like I said, I'm still very much so into manifestation and journaling and all that stuff, writing down like, like instead of being like, I want $1,000, being like, I have $1,000. I'm so grateful that I have $1,000. Okay, so here's where this all ties in. When I started going back into dating again, like I decided, all right, Christina, you got to get yourself out there. You got to go on some dates. Like, I've never really done the dating thing because me and my ex started dating at 16. Like,
this was such a fun era for Christina.
This was a moment.
This is when me and Christina got like really close again after the pandemic. I had just gotten back to the city in early June, and I was like, wait, you're on Bumble?
Right.
Like, what do you mean you're on Bumble? You're not going to LA every fucking weekend? Like, this is great.
And it
what
was
an
like
era.
an awkward moment where like I finally, you know what it was? Is I think I went on a date with some guy and it was like a really good date, and then I went over to your old apartment after and I was like, Lily, I gotta tell you something.
Yeah, and then she told me about the breakup, and I was like, oh, so this happened like 5 months ago, and you just didn't tell me.
Well,
like,
you know what?
Okay.
This is literally what the entertainment industry does to you. Is
it
when
silences you.
Yeah, it silences you. When we broke up, I was not allowed to talk about my breakup publicly, and I was afraid of like the people that I was telling about it for like the longest time. So it's like some of my best friends, I had to hide the fact that me and my ex-boyfriend were broken up for months.
Yeah, like that's so crazy to me.
So fucked up. It was nuts. So finally one night I was like, fuck it. And I went over to Lily and I was like, listen, we broke up, but I went on a date with this guy and I got to tell you about it. And it was not the guy that I'm about to talk about.
Wait, which guy was this that you went on the first date with?
It wasn't the first date, but I came and talked to you about it after I went on the date with Dog Guy.
I knew it was going to be Dog Guy.
Yeah, the crazy dog guy.
Oh,
yeah.
He's brilliant.
He's great. Episode. Yeah, that'll definitely be another episode. Now, here's the thing. Before I went on the date with the dog guy, though, one of my very first dates I went on was with this beautiful, like 6'4" built, finance,
gorgy
Palestinian man.
Palestinian prince, we call him.
Yeah, so his nickname is the Palestinian Prince. And I went on a date with this man and like fell in love in a night. Like, he was like barely giving me time of day. Yeah. And I loved it.
He like hated me and I loved it.
I loved it. I was like, oh my God, give me nothing, babe.
That would
like,
be toxic.
Okay. But anyways, we finally got around to going on a date one night. We went out to dinner. It was great. We kissed after. I went home. I was so happy. And this is in like, when was this? It was
June? May.
I think it was end of June.
Okay. Because
I got back to the city like mid-June. This was like the end of June. This was before I met my boyfriend. This is before I met Martine.
Cute.
And then we met him. And
We're not there yet. Yes. We're not there yet.
We'll get there another day.
Next episode. Period.
But anyways, yeah, this is like sometime in like end of June, I would say. We went on this date and like I was in love with this man. And I wanted to see him so badly. Like, we hung out like the day after our first date. And I literally went to his apartment in like Battery Park and we like made out for an hour and then I left.
Cute.
Right.
And you were like, okay, free Palestine. See you later. My boyfriend's Palestinian, so like if I say free Palestine 7 more times in this episode, just mind your fucking business, okay?
We were just like, we were just having a good time. We're just, you know, kissing, whatever.
Kissing or whatever.
Yeah. Anyways.
No, really, they only kissed, actually.
Yeah, no, we didn't do anything else because at that time I was still like, oh my God, I don't want to have sex with anybody. Blah. Yeah. I was still really nervous. Well, not nervous, but I was still like,
it wasn't the time.
Yeah, like I was,
it was
still
fresh. We were raw. Yeah,
exactly. We were fresh out of that relationship still, so it was a little bumpy. So, anyways, I wanted to see this man so bad, but he was one of those finance dudes that works like an insane amount that like you just cannot get a hold of them. So I tried to see this man for like the next like month almost, hitting him up, being like, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. We'd make a plan, it would fall through. Like, it was just like nuts. And so here's another desperate thing that I did, which is what we wrote down. So the thing that we have written down in our notes is manifesting the Palestinian Prince, because I was so desperate to go on a date with this man and I was so in love with him. And it's like, you get out of a brand new relationship and like you cling to the first guy that you're like, that you really, really like.
Dude,
and you
that's
just
a
like,
little too relatable.
Right.
I'm not liking that statement
at
all.
You get out and you're just like, oh my God, like who can I be in love with next? And you just like grab onto them and try to never let go. Like, it's crazy. So I was like in love with this man. So me getting my fucking journal out every night, writing down like the the Palestinian prince texted me. The Palestinian prince asked me on a date.
I
went on a date today with the Palestinian prince and it went great.
No.
Me and the Palestinian prince are together forever. Like,
no, like she like physically wrote this out.
Physically wrote it down. And the reson I told Lily
at the age of 21 years old, wrote this in her journal.
It was a bad time. I literally, so I did all that, obviously did not work. We didn't talk for a while. All of a sudden he like starts hitting me up like almost a year later being like, hey, let's go get dinner and blah. And I'm just like, oh my God. But
he texted her the other day.
Literally texted me the other day, asked me to go get dinner. And listen, I have nothing against the man, obviously, because he was
he's a Palestinian prince.
Right.
Of course we don't have anything
here's the thing
against
too.
him.
He was so cool, honestly. He was one of those guys that's like gorgeous, and he was super chill, and he was so nice. But it's like, I can't be with a guy that can't really give me time of day. Like, his job like takes over his life, and like I can't have that.
And like we love like an aspiring man.
Yeah.
But like
but it's like if you
have
can't
to make time for me.
Yeah, like you're telling me that like you really enjoyed our date and then you're not making time for me over like 3 weeks. Like
That's
you're telling me over like a 3 week span of time you can't put like an hour aside to go grab drinks. Like give me a break.
Just not true.
Yeah. So it was just like I just got a little fed up with it. So I just like left it alone. I stopped trying to manifest him, but for like a good fucking week or two I was writing in my journal manifesting this man.
That's so
like,
good.
It was so bad. And then I was doing like a big closet clean out like a few months ago, and I found the journal that I was writing it down in, and I sent a photo of it or I sent a video of it to Lily and Hannah. Which Hannah's our other, like, I'm sure you guys if you know us,
Bestie
you know
for
Hannah.
the Rusty,
Bestie for the Rusty. Powerpuff Girls. We love our group. But I sent them a video and I was like, oh my God, throwback to the time in the summer where I literally tried to manifest the Palestinian prince for like 2 weeks straight.
And I was like, sorry, what? Like, I knew you liked him, but like, sis, we like journals. Like,
right. We really wrote that down. We did the 369 method. Like the Palestinian prince will text me 3 times, 6 times. No. The Palestinian prince did text me 6 times, 9 times. Me and the Palestinian prince are in love, and we are having babies.
If you YouTube the 369 manifesting method, you'll laugh like way harder at this.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like
you're supposed to do it for like making money,
right?
You're like, I need the Palestinian prince's dick, like,
right?
now.
Like we will live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
7 children.
Did I ever tell you that I ran into him when I was with my parents?
No. Coming to you live. Like, what?
I can't believe I totally forgot to tell you this part.
Did you see him like crossing the street or something?
Yes.
Oh,
I
was
with my parents at the frying pan. They were visiting me. We're about to cross the street. He's at the crosswalk.
There he
right
is,
in front of
everyone.
us. I'm like,
in the flesh.
My God. I'm like telling my parents, like, walk really slowly, like walk away, like walk this way, whatever. Blah,
this
blah,
is
blah.
just not the time. Like,
not the time.
Maybe I manifested a little too close to the sun.
Right. And my mom, of course, is like so clueless. She's like, oh my God, go say hi to him. Like, what's the harm? But I'm like, oh my God, Mom.
What's the harm? There's a lot of harm, actually.
Like, hi, Palestinian prince. So nice to see you at this crosswalk. Here's my mother and father.
Yeah, like,
I know we went on a date once.
Yeah.
But here's my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. That shit was...
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was nuts.
So yeah, moral of the story is if you meet a guy one time, maybe don't journal about
right. Just give it some time.
Give it like a few days before we like journal. Right. You know?
And I was like, you know what? I was like so like brainwashed in a way that's like, oh my God, like I know he has a really demanding job. Like it's okay. I'll give it time and everything. But it's like if you really can't take an hour out of your day after like a month, then like that's just like we don't want that energy. We don't want that energy. Like if you really like someone, you're gonna make the time.
Even if you had like hung out with him a bunch, I'm sure he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Like that just like wasn't a meant to be situation.
Exactly. That was the thing that like sucked was like he was like a really nice guy and like we had like a lot of laughs together and everything. But it was literally like twice and then like just MIA.
Yeah, I feel like Palestinians are maybe more like my thing.
Yeah.
And then like your thing would be like Colombian guys. But like
we love like a
hairy Colombian men.
Yes, I love hairy Colombian. I think maybe I'm like so in love with my hairy Colombian man because I, you know, like I've only ever dated like skinny white boys.
And
now I'm
same.
I'm like,
and I met Sammy and I'm like, oh, you have an accent? Oh my God, like let's have 7 children tomorrow.
I know, like Do you have a dick? Can I suck it?
Okay.
That's really interesting.
I'm like, this is the first episode.
You gotta get them warmed up.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotta get them warmed up.
Love you, Mom. Okay, so. Oh, no.
Okay. We'll talk about the boyfriends and the sex and the dicks in another episode.
No.
We actually, yes, bitch, the next episode, we literally are talking about the sleepovers.
Yes. But
Forget it.
Oh, fuck.
We're getting Lily warmed up.
No.
We're getting her warmed up.
We should make like a edited version of every episode to send to like our parents and be like, yeah, this is the episode.
This is it. Don't go to Spotify.
Don't listen to the one that's on the internet.
Yeah. Listen to this and just trust me.
That's my only fear at this podcast. I'm like, yeah, so my mom and dad and like a lot of people I know are going to listen to this. And Christina's like, yeah, dick.
You know what I think it is? I mean, at least for me, I just don't think I could disappoint my parents anymore after I got my nipples pierced.
Well, and you also did a sex toy at multiple sex
That's
toy
right.
ads.
I was sitting at brunch with my parents when I go,
Oh, God.
hey guys, just want to let you know I'm making a fat check off of a Balesa sex toy. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And they
and
were
your
like,
dad's like, is that going in the retirement fund? Yes.
right,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine.
Okay,
that's
great,
fine.
great. Can we write it off?
Yeah, can we write it off?
Can we write
Oh
it
my
off?
God, literally.
Like, that shit was so funny. But yeah, they like, honestly, they're like, that's like, I got like this tattoo the other day. Me and my roommate got like matching 505 tattoos. And I showed it to my parents, expecting them to be like mad. And then my mom was like, oh, cool, whatever.
Jeez, a tattoo compared to other things you've done. I mean,
I just,
$4,000 on psychics versus
$4,000
a tattoo.
on psychics, nipples pierced. Also, bringing a man that I knew only for like 5 days to get the nipples pierced.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, that's another story.
Wait, Ryan?
Yeah.
No. Wait. Oh my God, that's another episode.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I met him
stay
and like
tuned.
literally like 3 days after. Like
No
we went out to
sexual
like a
relation.
brunch. No,
Yeah,
not at all.
he was just a friend, guys.
He was literally just a BFF. But literally met him 2 days later, went out to a brunch with him. The day after that, FaceTimed him. I want to get my nipples pierced tomorrow. Will you come with me? He's
This
like,
is
"Let's
this
do
is
it."
what being friends with Christina is. Like
Right.
nobody could have ever prepared me for this in any capacity.
It's like, here's the thing. Nobody prepares it for you, but at the same time,
You need it.
it's not it's not that it's not expected, but it doesn't come as a shock. You're like, this is a lot,
Yeah, but I love it.
but I should have known this.
Yeah, I should have known.
I should have known.
It's good for me, I think.
Oh, forget it. I got my nipples pierced and I was flashing the world. I FaceTimed everybody after. I was like, guys, look at my tits.
No, I looked at my phone and it was just a picture of Christina's bare boobs. And I was just like,
I was like, Lily, look.
okay. Like,
I'm like still waiting for the moment, like in the locker room at Equinox, like, because I like change it, like my tits are out. And I'm like, I want someone to come up to me and be like, oh my God, you're having nipples pierced. I know nobody ever will because nobody's
it's
really
like,
that
it's
ballsy.
literally never going to happen. But
right.
Christina, like, dreams about this
I
day.
dream about it.
So if you see her in the street, even if you can't see
And be
her
like,
nipple piercings, just be like, wow.
Just compliment them.
Yeah.
Just compliment them.
You
And
have
I will,
no idea what you will do for this girl.
right. Ego boost for the day. After I got my nipples out, I'm like, I don't know how this is possible, but I got hotter.
Maybe JoJo will see them tonight.
I'm gonna be the guy like,
Yeah. She'll be like, get out right now. Wow, your nipple piercings are great.
Are those titanium?
Oh my God. Who let us have a podcast together? Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, so normally we would end the show off with toxic confessions from you guys, the listeners. But obviously this is our first episode, so we don't really have any toxic confessions. I tweeted really briefly on Twitter to submit me some toxic confessions, but obviously Twitter is limited characters, so you guys couldn't really like go off or anything for us. So this episode is long as it is anyways, so we're gonna cut it short. But before we go, we did end up seeing this one girl's tweet that made us like fucking cackle.
I'm trying to find it right now.
Wait, I have it. I screenshotted
Oh, okay,
it.
good.
Here we
good.
go. Yeah. So I tweeted, what's the most toxic thing you've done? So that's the question for the end of all of these episodes, guys. What's the most toxic thing you've ever done? We want full blown friggin' story times. Oh my God, I can't even talk. Can you hear me? I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what is the most toxic thing you've done? Send us your submissions. You can send it to us, Gin Toxic Podcast, because Gin and Toxic was fucking taken. So Gin Toxic Podcast, go on Instagram, submit it to us. Anyways, though, this one girl, Chloe, she tweets us. Yo.
I don't know why it's so funny. It just is, okay?
It's like so dumb,
it's
but
so
like
stupid.
Maybe it's because we've been recording for a while and we're a little loopy.
Little
we
drunk.
had some alcohol.
No, a lot of
but
alcohol.
She goes, I signed my ex-best friend up for Jehovah's Witness visits and gun control messages. ... She loves guns.
Like, yes. Like, next time someone fucks me over, I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to move in silence and just sign you up for some Jehovah's Witness visits. Like, that shit gets so annoying. They used to come to my house all the time.
Like, it's like, I respect you. But I don't care. Like, I, like,
Right.
you know.
But, like, next time someone fucks with me, you know what's coming.
It's like, you should just, I've seen things on TikTok before that's like, if someone does you dirty, you could just sign them up for, like, 1 million spam emails and calls.
Yes.
There's also that thing going viral that, like, they'll make they'll take, like, a bunch of random keys and put tags on it and put their ex's phone number on the tag. And then you just drop the keys all over the place. So,
yes.
like, they just keep getting phone calls that they lost their keys.
I feel like I have, like, a hit list of people I need to do this to.
Right. Right.
Finally get my revenge.
They're going to be getting calls for, like, fucking months telling them that they lost their keys.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right. But, yeah, shout out to that girl, Jehovah's Witness, and gun control messages.
It's so amazing.
This shit was so weak. All right. Well, we don't really have a outro yet. So this is it.
That's it, people.
That's all. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. New episodes every Wednesday. And as we continue making episodes, we'll obviously have more solidified intros and outros. But for now, this is it.
Yeah, I promise
You
we're
gotta
gonna be like
start
really
somewhere.
professional soon. But
Yeah.
for the meantime, we're off to the JoJo concert.
Yeah,
so we don't really have time for that.
It is currently 6:42. We got to dip at like
on
7
a Monday
p.m.
night. May
On
I
a
remind
Monday
you?
night.
Yeah, no, we're drunk at 6 o'clock on a Monday, going to a fucking JoJo concert, as
In
if I don't have
Brooklyn.
work tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Give me a break. It's in Brooklyn too.
Oh, it's in Brooklyn, and we live in Manhattan. Ugh, it's just a mess.
It's like, and even if you live so close to Brooklyn from Manhattan, going to Brooklyn is
It's a
just like such a
Hajj.
menace.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a Hajj.
It's just so ridiculous. But anyways, all right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Love you long time.
Make sure
Bye-bye.
to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. My Instagram and Twitter is Beauty Chickie. Yours?
Instagram is Lily Stewart with 2 Y's, so unfortunate. And then Twitter is Lily Stewart with 2 T's, also unfortunate.
We're going to work on getting it fixed.
Some of us are poor, so.
Some of us don't have a pretty username.
Yeah, period.
Anyways, when I'm recording this, I don't know if we'll have a Twitter account yet. I don't remember if I secured the name yet.
Probably
I'm going to check
not.
on that after.
We
Yeah,
have
I
a
gotta
lot to
check.
do.
Anyways, on Instagram, or you know what, you could just go to our Instagrams, Lily Stewart, Beauty Chickie. I'm sure we'll be posting about the podcast. You can find our page through there. For now, it's Gin Toxic Podcast on Instagram.
Definitely follow me, because I'm like lagging really far
Yeah,
behind.
we're gonna need to pick Lily up.
This
to speed
ratio
a little
is
bit.
so sad. It doesn't really make, like, how am I here? Like, why? How are we even friends?
It was just like when I was like looking to like rebrand and do co-host, I was like, who is like equally as crazy as me that is open to talking about crazy, stupid shit? And I was like, that's Lily. That's literally Lily.
my unfamous friend Lily.
Shut up.
I'm like, okay, so
It's
Christina,
like I can't be like, oh my god, no, like you're famous. Like I can't do that.
It's so sad. No, Lily, you're doing great. No, like you don't even have 10K.
No.
Like you're poor.
You're doing
You're
great, sweetheart.
Instagram poor, bitch.
Anyways, if you want to work with Lily, hit her up at Lily at West 27 Town.
No, yeah, like pay my bills. Like help. Please God, I'm trying to quit my job.
We're trying to quit that day job, make podcasting a full-time thing.
You heard her.
Yep.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next